Welcome to the Halliwell Manor. I'm Max.
And I'm Tina.
And we're here to discuss Season 7, Episode 3 of Charmed.
Cheaper by the Coven.
And woof, this is a rough one.
Okay, so sometimes when we're watching episodes, when we start the episode, I think it's bad, but then as we talk about it, I realize it's actually good, bad. So I don't want to say this is bad right off the bat, but oh my god, it's so bad.
Okay, so in a weird way, this kind of reminds me of a Barbas episode.
Go on.
Because, like with Barbas, I like the actress who plays Grams. I think Jennifer Rhodes does a great job with this role. But for some reason, a lot of the episodes with Grams, like a lot of the episodes with Barbas, aren't as good as the actors in them, you know, would make you think that they are. Like, I love Grams, but let's look at the last few episodes we've had with her, right? Like, that 70s episode.
Well, that one doesn't count, though. Oh, wait, never mind. Jennifer Rhodes was in that one. Okay. I was going to say because we only had past Grams, but no, we did have present day Grams. Oh, yeah, that was terrible.
You're thinking of Witch Stock.
Oh, it was! Okay, wait, what was the last one you said?
That 70s episode, which granted was way back in, like, season 2.
Uh-huh.
But that's the one where they went back to the 70s and met their mom. And,
oh, right.
And she was pregnant with Phoebe, even though Prue was, like, 9 in that.
The timelines make no sense, and just a little preview here, there is some continuity exploding stuff happening in this episode, too.
Oh, yeah. So, I like Jennifer Rhodes. I love Grams. I'm aware that it's a bad episode, but the fairy tale one is one of my favorites, and that's a pretty Grams-heavy episode.
Oof, yeah. I mean, she's basically just doing Endora from Bewitched, right? That's her jam.
Yeah.
Like, Endora from Bewitched if she fucked.
Did Endora not fuck? I've only seen a few episodes of Bewitched, which she is definitely the high point in.
I mean, let's be clear, Endora fucks, but she doesn't talk about it on screen like Grams does.
Oh yeah, Grams got laid all the time, which is fun because she hates men.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Discounting Witch Stock, which is just...
So should
although that is the episode that establishes that Grams had sex with Leo, which...
Ooh, that's pretty gross.
Yeah. Well, let's get into the episode.
Ooh, is that the real reason that Whitelighters aren't supposed to have sex with their charges?
Because of Grams?
No, because they live forever. So the chance that they would have sex with their charges and then a descendant of their charges is too high.
Oof.
That's my headcanon. I've decided that now.
So Leo is the candle sex ghost from that one episode of Star Trek where Dr. Crusher has sex with the ghost that was banging her grandmother.
I highly doubt that we didn't make that joke when we did that episode. And yes, he is. Not
just her grandmother, every woman in her family for generations.
Except her mother, because her mother died before her grandmother did.
Ugh. Alright, so...
I mean, we could be talking about the Sub Rosa episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, but I guess we'll talk about this instead.
Yes.
I wish there was some Q connection to that episode so that when we do Welcome to the Q Continuum, we could do Sub Rosa, but I feel like I'd have to stretch that pretty far.
So, for a fresh change in Charmed, we open on one of the sisters complaining.
What?
Although this time it is Paige who is complaining because... she got the position of headmaster of magic school thrust upon her.
Okay, serious question here. Is that her job?
Yeah, I think she's officially the headmistress of magic school.
Okay, because she also teaches several classes, which is fine. That's fine. Unorthodox, but fine. But she also is acting as though she has a boss. I guess the elders are her boss?
They're the school board, I guess.
All right, okay, I'll allow it.
But yeah, she ordered 500 dried frogs, but they sent her 500 wet ones. Wah, wah.
I just stick them in the oven.
For potions class.
Dry them out, it's fine.
Yeah. Or, here's a fresh idea for you, Paige. Use magic because you're a witch.
Personal gain much?
Well, it's not for her, it's for the students.
Yeah, but it will make her life easier, so it's for her. Remember, the rules of personal gain are, if Paige does it, it's personal gain.
That is true. But Phoebe has no time for this because she needs to convince Piper that Chris needs a wickening.
Yeah, okay. They want to do the wickening for Chris, and Paige points out they didn't do Wyatt's until he was 6 months old, and he almost became evil. And I'm like, really? The 6 months that he went without a wickening is what made him evil?
Yeah, I think there were a lot of other factors. So they're going to summon Grams's ghost because Grams is the only one who can talk Piper into anything, which, okay, yeah, maybe at the beginning of the show that was true. Piper has far eclipsed Grams by this point.
But she's the only one who has a chance.
Hmm.
Okay, I kind of love this. They do the thing, they summon her, and she's facing away from them mid-conversation with someone else, like gossiping about someone, and then she's like, you know, sucked out of that conversation to be summoned.
And she's pissed off. She's like, it's lovely to see you or whatever, but, you know, I have a life. And they're like, but you're dead. And she's like, the afterlife is the before life. Come on.
She's like, what's the point of heaven if you can't trash talk people in it?
Also, like, she just walks out of the summoning circle and has a corporeal body. So, and I'm given to understand that's a her thing here.
Okay, so early on, I think during Piper's wedding, they did the spell that made her and Patty corporeal to attend the wedding.
It was just Patty, and that was an elder-specific thing.
Okay.
Grams had to be a, like, ghost-ass ghost throughout that whole ceremony.
Okay, so because my assumption was once they had done it once, it's like now the ghosts knew how to do it, and now it's just a thing ghosts can do.
And, God, let's see, before that. Now, I think Grams manifested physically in the Witch Stock episode. And she had a physical body. She had a physical body in the Necromancer episode, but I think that was a Wyatt thing. And she had a physical body in the Fairy Tale episode, but I think that was also a Wyatt thing.
Okay.
Anyway, no one has been keeping Grams in the loop because she sees baby Chris and she's like, did someone else have a baby? And they're like, yeah, that's Chris.
And she's like, wasn't Chris your white lighter? What happened?
But Wyatt is using his powers to bully baby Chris. He orbs the pacifier away from him. And Grams is like, Wyatt, stop picking on your little brother. And Wyatt temper tantrum orbs up to his room. We're assuming he just orbed out of the house. He could be anywhere.
Right? So Grams is going to go get Wyatt. And she goes into his room and sees a contestant from the reality show Mr. Personality.
Oh my God.
I know, deep cut, right?
Yeah.
Doing something to Wyatt. And that is to say, he's wearing a really dumb-looking mask, like the contestants on the reality television show Mr. Personality.
Oh my God. I can't believe you felt like you needed to explain what the contestants
No, I'm
from
telling them. I'm not you. I know you know.
No. The widely beloved show, Mr. Personality. Everyone knows it. It's like the Survivor of dating shows where guys wear creepy fetish masks.
Oh, yeah.
Are those shows dead, or is Netflix doing them? I guess
Netflix does them now.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that's basically the entire plot of, what was it, like, Sexy Beasts?
Yes, which we watched a whole season of for some reason.
We did, didn't we? I remember watching it, but I have, like, no memory of any episodes.
Yeah, I don't either, but I do remember that everyone on it was so awful that you just rooted for the person you liked the best to not end up with anyone.
That is true, but I thought you were going to say that despite the premise of it, which is that everyone is going on dates in, like, theatrical FX makeup, so you can't tell what anyone looks like, despite that, everyone on it is super hot.
Mm.
So
they also have awful personalities, so it kind of... You think they could have found, like, one or two nice people, but again, you root for the person with the least awful personality to not end up with anyone.
Well, it's like Love is Blind. It's like, why are you casting all of these hot people and then being like, do looks matter? Although I do have to say, I really genuinely love season 1 of Love is Blind. I might do my own private podcast just about season 1 of Love is Blind, which I love. And, okay, I don't usually follow contestants on dating shows. That's, like, not a thing I do. But I do periodically check in on Cameron and Lauren's social media just to make sure that they're still together because they make me believe in love.
I'm comforted by that as your husband. Speaking of Netflix dating shows...
Speaking of Love is Blind!
Why was the entire commercial for this episode about Nick Lachey? This isn't his first or second appearance on the show. He's been in every episode this season. Why was it all special guest star Nick Lachey has turned Phoebe into a sexy baby? Also...
It was upsetting. The trailer for this episode was upsetting.
Also, Charisma Carpenter's in it for like 3 seconds. Don't get too excited.
They also made you think that Charisma Carpenter was going up against the Charmed Ones by cutting things out of context. Speaking of reality shows.
Yes. Yeah, because the trailers usually focus on the dumbest B plot, but there's only one dumb A plot in this episode. So
No. I would argue the A plot is all of the girls regressing into children.
For very, very flimsy reasons.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But I would argue the B plot is Phoebe getting the award for Ask Phoebe. And it's only like 2 scenes long, and that is what the entire commercial is.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a perfect time to drop that I've been doing a thing on our Blue Sky where I kind of like live skeet my reading of various TV tie-in novels.
I've been enjoying those.
And the Charmed one I read most recently had a stupid B plot that would have been the whole trailer. Like, the plot itself was actually pretty dramatic about like another trio that I don't want to get into it. It was a lot of stuff.
So often.
This one was actually pretty cool though. They had battled the Charmed One's ancestors, and then at the end of the battle, that would have wiped them out completely. They were frozen in time, and then they came forward to fight the Charmed Ones now. It was cool. And they were stealing their powers so that when they faced them in the final battle, they would be depowered. It was good. It was good A plot. It was well done. But then the B plot was, there are gremlins in the house making things explode. And I really appreciated, it was, I'll look up her name, but it was the fanfiction writer who did the Buffy book. Fanfiction. It was the TV tie-in novel writer who did Buffy's
tomato. Come on.
Bad Bargain, which I was super impressed by how much continuity that book had. So it makes sense that she was very loyal to the structure of Charmed episodes.
So at P3, Piper is working, and her bartender
manager.
Assistant, he points out that a shipment was late, and yet she's not screaming at everyone and throwing a massive temper tantrum. And he's like, wow, you're not flying off the handle for once. That's very unlike you.
And she's like, yeah, well, God is dead.
She says, I'm trying to live my life without any powers. It makes for less stress.
Well, but she starts this with, how some people believe in a higher power? I'm living my life with no powers. You're right that what she meant is she's not doing magic. Whatever. But...
I mean, it's a Piper plot. We all know what Piper's deal is by this point.
Yeah, but from his point of view, I feel like what he heard is, God is dead, who cares? And honestly, mood.
Fair. So, Phoebe comes in to brag, but also talk about the Wickening thing. She comes in and she's like, I won a Reader's Choice Award! And Piper's like, and she's like, and I summoned Grams for Chris's Wickening. It was Paige's idea, don't blame me. I'm throwing Paige completely under the bus. And,
yes.
Oh my god. Piper is on her I want a normal life kick again. She's like, why would you do this ceremony to bless my child when you know I don't want any magic? Which, are we still doing that? I kind of thought we dropped that, but I guess we're back to no magic.
I guess. Well, and then Phoebe's like, well, he needs protection. I mean, a demon tried to attack Wyatt today. And Piper's like, you're just telling me that now? And I know the way we described it made it sound like it took her a long time to get to that. But seriously, it was like 2 minutes. Less than.
It was like the third sentence. Although I will point out that I'm winning an award came first. I'm winning an award. We brought our grandmother back from the dead to bless your kid. And also a demon attacked. And Piper bursts into the manor, Grams is like, hi, sweetie. And she's like, fuck you, Grams. Leo, come here. And Grams is like, isn't, like, I'm hanging out in, the afterlife. And word around there is that Leo's gone crazy and is murdering people. Are you sure you want Leo in the house? And Piper's like, it's fine. He's not murdering anyone I care about. Leo!
Okay, I want to point something out. Because she didn't know that Chris had been born. So she didn't know that from gossip in the afterlife, even though we established that all she does is gossip, apparently. She says that she heard that from Paige. So we're just going to breeze past the fact that Paige is like, Grams, I'm so glad you're here. Our white lighter has fucking lost it. He's doing he's basically Hawkeye after the snap.
Yeah, where he's just going around murdering people all willy-nilly. Mm-hmm. So he has the face, Leo orbs in, and he has the face smudges of moral ambiguity.
Ooh. Yeah.
And he's like, look, I heard about the demon thing. I'm going back into the underworld to kill as many demons as I can, so that there'll be no one left to threaten our sons. And Grams is like, oh, so suddenly you think murder's the answer to all your questions? And he's like, I'm sorry. You, Grams, is saying this? Like, come on, seriously, come on. I don't understand why Piper... I mean, you know what? I get it. Because Grams is pushing for them to do the Awakening as, they go upstairs. Piper's flipping through the book, looking for the demon that attacked Wyatt. And Grams is like, no, Chris needs Awakening, obviously, to protect him. And Piper brings up the actually very good point. Wyatt had his Awakening and it didn't protect him from shit.
Okay, I have a few things to say about this.
Yes.
The first is, my problem with Piper is that she thinks that if she just stops using magic, demons will stop attacking her. But she's never going to not be the charmed one. So that's just not an option on the table for her. She can't hide. She needs to be prepared, and she needs to prepare her children. Like, it's ridiculous of her to think otherwise. And honestly, it's a little too unintelligent for me to believe that Piper, no matter how much she wants to lie to herself, doesn't know that.
Yeah. Also, again, I know it's because they want to do the wacky baby magic plots. Not binding Chris and Wyatt's powers makes no sense if Piper doesn't want them to have magic lives.
Right? I mean, well, we've said she goes back and forth about that, and it's true. The other thing I was going to say, though, is that not 5 minutes earlier, Paige was saying that if they had Wiccaned Wyatt earlier, he wouldn't have gone evil, which is dumb. And now Piper's saying, well, we Wiccaned Wyatt and it didn't help, he still turned evil. And the thing is, her obsession with the fact that Chris might turn evil or Wyatt still might turn evil feels like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, stop treating your kids the way you're treating your kids, and maybe they'll be less likely to turn evil.
I mean, I don't think the worry is that Chris will turn evil, because if he did, who cares?
Whoa!
I mean, Wyatt's got the whole omnipotent true king of England thing. Chris is a white lighter who can use telekinesis.
Chris is a classic second son, if ever there was one.
Yeah.
I didn't mean for that to rhyme.
So, Wyatt is bullying Chris using his powers. He's orbing his blanket away from him.
Okay, I want to say something about the child actor, who is only 2, so, like, don't take this as a criticism of this 2-year-old child actor.
Yes.
But it cracks me up no end. You know, when you're casting a child actor, you want somebody who's not going to cry and fuss a lot. That's, like, your number one priority. And as a result, they have a child who looks like he does not care where he is or what he's doing, regardless of what's happening around him.
Yeah, he is a very cold child.
Like, this part could have been played by a cutout, and it would have been exactly the same. And again, he's 2. I'm not criticizing the child. It's just funny that the show wants us to believe that Wyatt is picking on his brother, when really it's just a child standing there doing nothing while special effects happen around him.
So, Paige has an assistant,
I assume he's a TA.
Yeah, I was thinking graduate student.
Yeah, well, yeah, because
Tomato, tomato.
Right, because she refers to him as a student later, right? So he is a student, but when she pulls him out of a class, he's teaching. So yeah, he's a graduate student who's a TA, and
it's important for us that although he's a student, he is of age.
He's 21, he says.
What a random thing to conspicuously mention in the middle of a scene.
Well, no, he doesn't say that now. He says it later. I just wrote it down when he said it.
Yeah, but it's very important that this is an underling of Paige's who is a young man but is of legal age.
I mean, honestly, because after he said he was 21, I looked up how old Paige Matthews is supposed to be. She's 26.
Yeah, like this whole thing's totally cool.
Other than the fact that she's his boss. That's a problem. But, like, and she's his teacher. And as we know from Friends, it's actually against the rules. It's not just frowned upon.
So, Ben, this young man, has been helping her try to find the mask face demon while she's doing the 2 tons of paperwork that it takes to run magic school.
She's like, oh my gosh, I have to do student progress reports? They haven't done anything yet. I don't have any progress report. And that's when I was like, who's she reporting that to? But I guess the elders.
Yeah.
Fuck the elders. They didn't give Gideon this much oversight.
Maybe they did, and they just didn't care that he was trying to kill a baby in all his free time.
Damn. Okay, speaking of killing a baby, Wyatt is irritated with his brother, so he orbs him away to who knows where.
Yeah, Ben is Glory, Glory is Ben. Ben points out that that Wyatt has orbed away Chris, and Paige is like, God fucking damn it, Wyatt. And
yeah, we cut to a scene of Piper on the phone with her being like, no, he's not over here. Where is my baby? And then she opens the door and her dad is holding her baby. And he's like, hey, look what orbed into my arms while I was standing on the porch.
He says, I hope this is yours because it sure isn't mine, which, okay, dude. He's being the cool older dad now. He's wearing a button down, but he's also wearing a leather jacket.
I mean, first Victor...
Oh, God, yeah. Original Victor had too much of that.
Yeah, exactly.
So they've dialed it down to the appropriate levels. Okay. I really love the Grams-Victor dynamic now that we've completely shifted the family history now. Because, let's be clear here, Grams is legitimately an awful person.
She really is. Okay. You know what? You go first, and then I'm just going to explode.
Like, don't get me wrong, I love Grams, but she's very clear about the fact that she controls her family, including her family members, through magic, mind control. That she totally forced Victor out after Patty's death. Like...
Okay. Even before her death. Okay, here's my issue with everything. I just compared her to Endora, and the thing about Endora is... I love that she hates Darren because Darren is trying to keep Samantha from living her best life as a witch.
Also, they got married after knowing each other for like a week.
I know.
Like, you forget it, but in the pilot, when they get married, they establish that they've known each other for literally days.
I was like, maybe that's just what people did in the 60s.
Apparently.
That and key parties. Okay, so... It makes sense that Endora hates Darren, but Victor was supportive of Patty, so it just makes me angry at Grams. Like, why are you being so mean to him? And she's like, you abandoned us, and I had to be basically a single mom to my grandchildren. It's like, well, whose fault is that, Penny?
Like, Victor points out that Penny Grams forced him out. Like, he wanted to take care of the girls because this is new dad. This is the dad that did not walk out on the family like original Victor did.
Right.
He was mystically barred from being a dad. Like...
Yeah, no, it's anger inducing. And then she's like, yeah, you can't come to the Wickening because it's just for magical family members.
And Piper's like, there's not going to be a fucking Wickening because I need to deal with the fact that there's a demon after my kids again, and also that my all-powerful god baby is trying to send my less powerful non-god baby all over creation with his magical god baby powers.
And then Victor's like, isn't that just boys being boys? And I'm like, Victor, I defended you! I was just defending you!
And Grams is like, look, I have a little black book of secret spells that I used to control my children and grandchildren. I do love...
Yeah, she calls it her little black book. And Victor's like, oh, of all your old boyfriends? And she says, no, that's a much bigger book.
Grams fucked.
She did.
And presumably still does in the afterlife.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Victor is horrified by the fact that,
she used magic to discipline her kids. Or his kids. Her grandkids.
Yeah, and he's like, or you could have tried, like, being an actual parent and using words. And she's like, okay, loser. That's some mortal-ass way to raise kids.
Yeah, no, but it's the magic thing is bad because what you teach your children is that it is right and proper for the person with the more powerful magic to physically and mentally control other people. That's not what you want to teach them.
Yeah.
You want to teach them that we live in a society and you have to behave in such a manner. Okay, so she finds the spell to get rid of sibling rivalry, though. It sucks the sibling rivalry right out of them. And she used to use it on them all the time.
Okay.
Really, Grams? You did? Because...
Is this... I'm not entirely sure. Is this where we really get the backstory of Victor wanted to be with the girls and Grams forced him out? Or has that been a thing before?
They've already established that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's already been established.
Because I'm kind of fuzzy on where the history changed from classic dad who walked out on them to,
It has definitely happened by this point. I don't know if it was at Piper's wedding or the first Wickening or where, but we have already absolutely gotten that.
I think
maybe even in the Sam episode.
I think it's post Prue's death. I feel like after Prue's death was when they walked back the whole Victor leaving on his own. Because Prue definitely still had issues with him.
Honestly, it might have even been the Prue's death episode because it might have been when he met Paige.
Yeah.
Which I also want to bring up, it's interesting, and I don't mind this, it's just a thing I wanted to point out, that his relationship with Paige, I was watching it, and it seems loving, which is nice, because, of course, Paige is not his daughter, it's the result of Patty having an affair with her whitelighter.
Yeah, but he's very cool with Paige, which...
I appreciate that since she is, his daughter's sister, he treats her as such.
Meanwhile, at the Bay Mirror, Nick Lachey is doing Phoebe's job, and she's in the goddamn office. Do you not know how taking a break from work goes? He points out, he's like, why are you here if you're on sabbatical? And she's like, you're trying to steal my award from me. You're trying to steal the prize I won for my article.
Okay, which, by the way, this is where we learn, the award, the Reader's Choice Award or whatever, is like best individual column, and it's for one that Leslie actually wrote. So, haha.
Wah wah.
Okay, this show does not know how to show that someone is killing it at work when they're not a business monster. So, Leslie is in Phoebe's office playing like office golf with like a little electric putter thing, and he's wearing a suit and he's got the Bluetooth in and he's making lots of calls and he's doing business, and it's like that.
Well, to be fair, he's making calls to women he wants to have sex with.
No, well, we see him talking to two women. The first one is a source and the second one is someone he wants to have sex with. But the point is, like, they're portraying him like a finance bro when really he would be like,
I don't know, reading psych books, I guess, or
I would think. Also, I just put in my notes here, I was like, poor Leslie. He's just trying to do the job he was hired to do, and Phoebe is in there screaming at him every other week. And he's objectively doing a good job. He won an award that Phoebe has never won.
Yeah. So back at the manor, Paige orbs in with Wyatt so that they can strip the children of their sibling rivalry, and Victor goes up to hug Wyatt, and Grams shoves him out of the way. Leads him over to Chris, and Victor's like, okay, so I know a lot of spells go wacky around here, so you're sure you know what you're doing? And Grimm's is like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. I'm not them. Which...
Also, I'm just going to put in here, even though everything we're about to talk about, I do not think Grams messes up this spell.
Do you think Wyatt,
Nope.
because Wyatt is looking.
So the spell that she casts, like, sucks the sibling rivalry out of them, and we see it, like, floating above them as a light, and then it goes into the sisters. And we learn that it was sucked out of Wyatt and Chris, and it just went into the closest set of siblings it could find. And my thought is that the siblings who lived near the Halliwells when they were growing up were just absorbing their sibling rivalry all the time, but Grams didn't know it because she doesn't care what mortals do.
Okay, so this is awful. Phoebe walks into the room, and as you just intimated, the light that is the sibling rivalry zoops into the three sisters, and they start all immediately arguing in baby talk, and it's the worst thing ever.
Oh my god, yeah.
I've got a big astral projection for this one.
I mean, basically the whole episode. Oh.
As the sisters are pettily arguing about, I don't know, boys or whatever, because it's weird, they're clearly children. They're clearly children here. Like, they are talking in baby talk, but also they're teenagers, I guess? Because, oh, you like Leslie, and that's why you're mad. I guess that might be more of a little
Yeah,
kid
that's
thing.
definitely a little kid thing. And they all... Okay, this is gross. This is why when we watched the trailer, I was like, ew, gross.
I'm a very sexy baby.
Yeah.
Which would have been... that quote from 30 Rock would have been our opening thing if we still did that.
Because that's what's going on. They have all of the knowledge and feelings that they still have. It's just they've reverted to children. So Phoebe still wants to bang Leslie, but she is now a child. Oh my god, I don't even want to say it out. I just said it, but oh my god.
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
It's terrible. But yeah, she comes in and she's like, Leslie's so stupid. And Paige is like, you want to sleep with him.
And Piper's like, where's Leo? Well, I need a bottle or whatever.
Okay. I put this in my notes too. She's like, why is everyone so mean to Leo? Can't you see how hard this is for him? And I wrote, I know she's saying it in a baby voice, but seriously, nobody has handled Leo's PTSD. Like, that needs to be handled.
Yeah, everyone is very concerned about Leo. No one seems to be doing anything to help him.
Yeah.
But not speaking of not Leo. The masked guy, Mr. Personality, blurps into the room and makes for Wyatt, and Grimes is like, girls, stop him! And the three sisters scream and run.
Because even though they still remember who they want to have sex with, they forgot how to fight. And the whole point is that this episode. The whole point is that they've gotten sibling rivalry, like, put into them. I feel like they should be ready for a fight. And also, children will throw a punch!
Yes, children will attack.
But luckily Grams is there, so she throws she telekinetically tosses a knife at the demon and he disappears.
Okay, as the girls are running out of the room, Piper hands Paige a pair of shoes and Paige throws them on the ground. What do you know what that was about?
I think that was just like weird prop work. I think I assume wait, who had those shoes?
I think Piper did. I think she has bare feet when she's coming down the stairs.
Okay, yeah, I assume that Holly Marie Combs just had them in her hand and like it was just a thing where she was acting like a child and passed them off, you know?
Yeah. So Paige orbs out of the house. Grimes is trying to keep all of the sisters together until she can reverse the spell. And Phoebe's like, I'm getting an award. I need to go get the award.
She's like, Paige was allowed to leave. I should be allowed to leave.
And Piper does rightly point out, although she is using a baby voice, she's like, I'm sorry. You're the one who cast the stupid spell that ruined everything and didn't solve anything, and Why are you in my house? You're dead. You need to stop fucking up my life, Grams.
Yeah, I think the back half of the Piper plot, the running theme is going to be, she's not wrong, she's just saying it in a baby voice.
Grams recites a spell from her little black book that freezes Piper because she doesn't want to deal with her.
Yes, I like that she had a freeze spell. I like that there is a freeze spell.
Well, it's not like Piper's using that power for anything these days.
Yeah.
But Victor's like, really? More magic? And Grams is like, it's fine.
And he's like, it's not fun. You literally just fucked up a spell. Although, as I argue, she didn't. I say that's always the way it worked.
Yeah, and Grams points out, hey, have the boys been fighting at all?
Okay, Gramps. Yes. I mean, I was gonna make a comment about how he's a toddler. He's easier to handle, but I guess he's not because he has god powers.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have made things decidedly worse, Grams.
Grams is flipping through the book to try to find a reversal spell, which I am curious why she has a separate little black book for parenting stuff that was separate from the Book of Shadows.
Maybe she feels just a twinge of guilt about it, enough to not want to pass it down.
Meanwhile, in the underworld, Charisma
Yay!
Carpenter!
She's gorgeous.
She is so beautiful.
I mean, listen, listeners, I know that you are shocked that in this house we are expressing love for a dark-haired, bitchy magic woman, but here we are. Yeah, Charisma Carpenter.
Yes, although I can't talk because I am a dyed-in-the-wall Anya stan.
I would die for Anya.
Yeah. I'm just saying Anya kind of took her niche in the Buffy gang.
Yeah, I guess she did.
Well, her and Spike, weirdly enough. But yeah, no. And I like this character. I like Charisma Carpenter and stuff. I was never a big Cordelia person.
I love Cordelia. Cordelia, your Anya, yes, does probably edge Cordelia out just a little bit, but I adore Cordelia.
It probably doesn't help that I don't really revisit the first 3 seasons of Buffy that often. No offense, they're very good at what they are, but it's kind of aggressively high school in a way that I don't care to revisit.
That makes sense. But, Cordelia is named for the daughter in King Lear who's punished for telling the truth.
Yeah.
And that is why she is Cordelia. And, I mean, Cordelia's line, tact is just not saying true things, is amazing. Okay, Cordelia. One of my the thing that makes her my second favorite character after Anya is
Wow.
Yeah. Is the earshot episode where Buffy can hear everyone's thoughts and Cordelia literally says what she thinks. Like, she is completely transparent about who she is and what she stands for. In the Angel episode where she goes into the coma and then her, like, heaven self sees her real self and the demon that's showing her around is like, oh, usually this heaven self of you is your idealized image of yourself, but I'm looking at your body now and you look exactly the same, so great self-esteem.
I want to point out I do like Cordelia a lot more in Angel until the show goes kind of up her own butt for a little while there. The whole she's a true champion thing.
No, I get you. But also, that's weird that's what bugs you, because what bugs me is that Joss Whedon was basically being abusive to Charisma Carpenter, and as a result, treats her very badly in her last season.
Oh yeah, no. The last season is so, like...
Knowing what's going on behind the scenes makes that season basically unwatchable to me, because it's like you can see the abuse on the screen. You really can.
Yeah, like, and I liked the bit where she gets the aspect of the demon and then she ascends. I thought that was a cool direction for her to go. Even if the whole true champion stuff kind of bothered me, like, I did like that they were doing all of this stuff with her. Mm-hmm. And then she comes back from being a power and the whole... And I think the Jasmine thing is conceptually interesting, but what they do to Cordelia to get there is just...
It's cruel. It's literally cruel.
It is. Yes. But
that's okay because Charisma Carpenter is here and we can watch her here.
Yes, she is the Seer, a name I guess they forgot they already used. The character's name is Kira.
Yes, although we do not hear that this episode.
Yes.
In fact, they don't call her the Seer this episode either.
Weird.
Yeah, right? But that is what she is. She is a Seer.
Yes, Leo has come to visit her in her weird garage sale apartment in the underworld.
Her storage center of premonition.
Yeah. So he's like, I know that you can see the future. Tell me, who's hunting my son? And she's like, you sure it's a demon? You sure it's not another elder? Like the last guy who was trying to get your son? And he starts choking her and he's like, tell me. And she's like, can you even tell the difference between who's good and who's bad anymore? And, he throws her and she's like, ooh, I like it rough. And he's like, can we not do this? I get that you're a demon and you feel like you have to have, like, sexy stuff, but I really just want the answer to who's after my son.
And she's like, fine, look in my magic pool. And he does, and his own face rises up from it. Oh, no!
Dun, dun, dun. And she points out, she's like, the only threat to your son is you. And he starts choking her again, and she's like, really? Is this your go-to thing now? Choking women. That's a great look, Leo. And he drops her, and he's like, yeah, that might not be a great look.
Yeah.
Like, I know she's a demon, but...
Back at the manor, Grams is trying to find a reversal spell, and Piper is theoretically helping her, but is super bored by everything that's happening, and also is not going to do any magic anymore. So just deal with it, Grams.
And Grams is like, do you remember the first time you were this age when I sat you and your sisters down, we had the talk? And
what?
And Piper's like, ew, I don't want to talk about sex. I know all about sex. I've had sex.
Okay, gross. But also, holy retcon, Batman.
Yeah, because Grams is like, not the sex talk, the witch talk. The premise of this show is that the girls did not know about magic until after Grams died. And I know that 70s episode established that they did know about magic when they were very little, but also Grams wiped their memories of that. Why would she remember the first time they had the witch talk?
Yeah.
Like, and from this point on, from this point on, they're very clear about the fact that Piper and Phoebe grew up knowing about magic.
Well, we complained about this last week or 2 weeks ago, or I don't know.
Last time.
When
Paige told the Council of Elders that, that
her sisters got to be raised as witches, but not everybody has that fortune. Then they need magic school.
Yes, my sisters learned magic from our mother and grandmother, which, no, they didn't. They very much did not. But, yeah.
Leo shows up in the manor and kind of breaks up. So, sorry, this leads to like a tearful scene where she's like, but magic killed Mom and it killed Prue and I don't want to deal with magic.
And Grams is like, suck it up, Piper. And they hug.
Yeah, and then Leo shows up and, breaks up that scene because Victor has called Leo to take the kids to magic school. And Leo is like hesitant and Grams is like, can you go to magic school or will you bounce right off the demon wards?
Yeah. She doesn't trust Leo because he's scruffy and he's going down a darker path. And, like, really, Grams? Really, like, you did some pretty brutal shit to protect the girls back in the day.
I mean, my problem with what he's doing is that it's not helpful. We said this before, right? Like, everyone wants to save the world, no one wants to do the dishes. Mm. Like, instead of going down to the underworld and killing every demon, maybe just help your wife raise your son. Mm. Like, maybe that's...
Sons.
Yeah. I mean, I specifically meant Wyatt because he's the one who's supposed to turn evil, but, like, maybe the way to not make your son evil is to be in his life. Just throwing that out there.
So...
Oh, God.
Okay. Well, Grams... Leo orbs off with the boys. Piper storms off to do whatever. And Grams is like, I'm going to figure out how to fix everything. You try to think of something to make yourself useful, Victor. And she storms out of the room, and Victor's like, oh, God. Really should have fought for custody.
Right?
I mean, she was using magic,
Right, yeah,
so.
yeah.
Meanwhile,
Oh
God,
my
it's
God.
the worst. So, Phoebe is at this awards banquet, and not only is she a child, she is now a drunk child.
Well, I mean, she's this is a convenient way that she can just say she was drunk, but she only takes one glass. I mean, she only drinks one glass of wine.
And she's like, they didn't even card me, which, how old are you supposed to be? You're doing baby voice, but...
Oh, no, here's what's confusing. You know how old you are. Like, you haven't forgotten how old you are. You just have the emotional maturity of a child. So really...
Specifically a toddler,
really,
so...
Phoebe should be feeling no difference.
Oh, yeah, and they all shouldn't be doing baby voice.
Oh, my God.
But, yeah. Nick Lachey comes and he's like, hey, Phoebe, you doing okay? And she's like...
I decided to come get the award because my name is Phoebe, so it's my award. And then the MC comes up to the podium, because it's like a dinner awards thing, and is like, without further ado, here's the award for Best Individual Column. And it's like, you had no ado. There should have been ado there.
Yeah, normally they build up to this sort of thing. You announce all of the, like, nominees or whatever, although I guess they knew ahead of time. But I guess you know ahead of time for, like, Oscars and stuff, too, right?
I think they just hint heavily. I don't think anyone actually knows. Wait, in fact, I know no one actually knows because I know that I know that there's all the accounting security stuff.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the Moonlight thing.
No. All right, so... okay, so child Phoebe runs on stage and grabs her award and is like, all right, I am a baby. Ask me questions. And some woman is not reading the room and is like... Tell me where you got that insightful advice that you gave to that woman.
Okay, I'm sorry. Our acceptance speeches Q&A things.
This whole awards show is a mess. That's what I'm saying. Phoebe getting up there and talking in baby voice is like the 10th most fucked up thing at this award show.
And Nick Lachey comes up and he's giving this whole speech where he's trying to, like, explain how Phoebe wrote the article.
Because he's the one who wrote the article.
And Phoebe's, like, trying to kiss him, and she's, like, looking through the glass, because it's a glass award. And he's like, this is what Phoebe did. And then everyone's applauding, and he's, like, kind of trying to shepherd her off stage. I guess he's assuming she's just really, really drunk.
I don't know. But she, like, jumps up on him and, like, wraps her legs around his waist. And I just want to remind everybody what they're watching here, right? Because the audience is like, isn't this the woman who was riding naked through town last week?
I'm sorry, I keep thinking of...
And isn't she the one whose sisters were like water nymphs or something?
I think they were just regular nymphs.
You know, the character Joan Calamezzo in Parks and Rec?
Yes.
That's basically how Phoebe appears to the outside world.
Okay, I get the appeal. I mean, I like Mo Collins, so...
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. A lot of the Mad TV people ended up having really good careers after Mad TV.
I know!
For example, Key and Peele. But people forget that they were in Mad TV first. It's also the birthplace of the Barinholtzes. The weird acting.
They were literally birthed there.
Yes. But the whole thing with Phoebe, I just keep on thinking of Linda Belcher's, I'm a sexy baby. I'm sorry, I'm a horny baby. I'm a very horny baby.
It's weird. All right, speaking of like weird, uncomfortable things, which is that's an evergreen segue when it comes to this episode.
Yes, Paige calls her TA out of the magic class he's teaching so she can make out with him.
So she grabs him, she kisses him. She goes, "Wait, how old are you?" And he says, "I'm 21." And she's like, "Oh no!" And it's like, "You're 26." As previously discussed, you are 26, but you know the question should be, "Oh wait, I'm still your boss / teacher, right?" That's what makes it a problem.
she's like, just one kiss, and he's like, we could make out more than that. And Grams is like, she is a baby in the body of an adult woman. How dare you, you pervert? Which, how would he know? I mean, she is acting weird.
I was going to go the opposite way, which is that he looks off and he like is clearly enchanted by her, even though she's acting like a baby. And I feel like that is not a good commentary on his character. And also, Nick Lachey being into Phoebe after seeing the way she behaves, not a good look for his character.
Well, to be fair, I feel like that's pretty standard behavior for Phoebe.
Oh, I thought you were going to say for men.
Oh, I mean...
Oh, but also with... I'm sorry, going back to Phoebe, though. Yeah, no, I didn't even mean just this episode. I mean the entire way that he has perceived her.
But, yeah, no, like, I'm going to the opposite of defend my gender, because for some reason that is a thing a lot of dudes are into, to the point that... Wasn't there a study done that showed that waitresses get more tips if they do their hair in pigtails?
I heard about that on TikTok, so I don't want to swear that it's true, but that is a story that was going around at the very least.
Yeah. So, Leo is tending to Wyatt in a room in magic school. The
main room that we usually see.
Yes. The demon with the mask pops in, and he and Leo shoot lightning bolts at each other until...
But unfortunately, it's perfectly synchronized fighting, and no one can get the upper hand!
Although Leo does successfully blow the mask off of the masked figure, and wah, it's him!
Yup.
That thing Charisma Carpenter said was true. He is his own worst enemy.
Grams and Paige come running out, and they see regular Leo and demon Leo shimmer out.
Well, they see demon Leo shimmer out. Regular Leo's just standing there.
Oh, I'm sorry, I meant they see regular Leo, and they see demon Leo shimmer out.
Yes.
And their immediate thought, Graham's at least, his immediate thought is, this proves that Leo is evil.
Okay. Seriously, Grams? So, Phoebe is in a commercial for some sort of girls product in the 90s. She's writing Leslie's name over and over again in her jeweled heart notebook, and she's blowing bubblegum while calling him on a kid phone.
It's a flip phone, but it's pink. But honestly, I feel like I should go back.
It's pink and tiny.
That's what size cell phones were then.
Oh, yeah, you remember that joke from
Zoolander?
Yeah, with a very tiny cell phone. That was a trend for a while there.
Yeah, they got smaller and smaller until they became computers, and then they got much bigger.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to go back. I didn't do this, but maybe I should have. Go back and see if that's the phone case she has in other episodes. Like, is that just who Phoebe is? But, yeah.
Yeah, Piper's like, ew, you like Leslie. And she's like, whatever, why don't you marry Leo again? They never technically got divorced, just saying.
Yeah.
So, Victor's watching them and he's kind of smiling. And
yeah, he's like, oh, that's my girls. And I'm like, what's wrong with you, Victor?
Well, I mean, I think he mentions it later. He's enjoying getting to see them as children because he didn't when they were actual children.
That's not okay either.
Yeah.
All right, so Grams pulls him into the kitchen, not to freak out about this, but to tell him that Leo is the one who is after Wyatt. And
Leo warps in and he's like, that wasn't me. And she's like, it looked like you. And he's like, magic exists, Grams.
Oh, to be fair to Grams, she's like, yeah, but the demon was in magic school. How could someone evil get into magic school? And then she's like, Leo, I know that you are going around killing people. You don't know who's good or who's evil. That's why you killed an elder. And he's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, Gideon. And he's like, oh, phew, she doesn't know that I killed that other elder. Whew.
Although the fact that he had to ask for clarification kind of...
Yeah, she's not on the ball here.
Yeah. And Victor's like, okay, why don't we step back from the situation and calm down a little bit? And Grams is like, shut the fuck up, Victor. And he's like, you invited me to be in the room.
She's like, clearly Leo has created an evil doppelganger with his subconscious mind that wants to kill his son so that he doesn't have to deal with Wyatt when he's an evil adult, I guess.
Well, Honestly, that's not the worst theory on Earth, especially in Charmed.
Okay, you're right. It's not a bad theory, but you know what's bad?
What?
Yelling at this Leo about it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like this is ignoring the more obvious thing, which is that Wyatt did it, because Wyatt does everything in this show.
There's not even like an aha moment in this show to jump ahead. It is Wyatt who's doing it. And there's not even like an aha moment. They just come back and they're like, oh, you know what? We thought about it for like 10 seconds and realized it was Wyatt. Anyway, so Leo orbs away in a snit, and now Victor and Grams are fighting about the fact that Grams doesn't want to reverse the spells on the girls anymore, because if adult Piper finds out that Leo has turned evil, she won't be able to bear it. So it definitely makes sense to keep her a toddler with much more emotional regulation abilities.
God. And he's like, these are my daughters. I think I have a say. And she's like, with PTA and school lunches, you have a say. With magic and demons, my word goes. And he's like, but you forced me out of their lives. I didn't have a say for the PTA stuff either.
Yeah. Also, I mean, I guess I'm not really siding with Victor about whether or not he should have control over that, because I do kind of believe that the person who understands magic should be the one in charge of the magic.
Yeah.
It's just that I agree with him that what she did is horrifying and she needs to undo it.
So, Grams is setting up a crystal cage, possibly wards.
It's wards, but it does look like she's setting up a crystal cage, which makes sense because
she's the one who seems to know that wards exist.
Oh, I just meant that wards and crystal cages would have a similar construction. But yeah. She's the one who knows that wards exist, and she's just going to ward the house so no demons get in and kill her children while she keeps them magically lobotomized. It's not good what she's doing.
It is not.
And Victor finally is like, okay, you know what? We can't agree, so we need somebody to break the tie.
And she's like, oh, who are you thinking? Their mom? And they both laugh, and he's like, yeah. And she's like, oh, shit.
I mean, obviously their mom.
Yeah. I have no idea why Grams thinks Patty is going to side with her. Also, apparently Grams can just bring people back from the dead all willy-nilly. She just voips Patty there. She doesn't set up the candles. She doesn't do the incantation. She just physically manifests Patty onto the mortal plane. So I feel like Grams has been doing her witch Pilates in the afterlife.
Yeah, no kidding.
Because that is a serious display of power there.
So when Leo orbed away in a snit, apparently he orbed to the Sears storage closet that she lives in, and he wants to know what to do. He wants to know if this is really happening. He wants to know if it's really him, if he summoned them. And she's like, you know what? You fucking suck, because if I tell you what you don't want to hear, you'll kill me for telling you what I don't want to hear. And if I lie to you, you'll kill me for lying to you. And guess what, man? It's not what you want to hear.
And she's like, okay, look, if you swear on the life of your son that you're not going to fuck me up if I show you something you don't like, then I'll do it. And he's like, fine, I promise I won't murder you on the life of my son. And she's like, okay, fine, we can move forward. Growth. So, Patty, I like, every time Patty's appeared, it's just been kind of this angelic figure above everything. And now she's just so tired of dealing with everyone else's shit.
Good for her.
Yeah, she's like, you know what? I don't have to do the celestial above it all, die too soon thing, because we've established death means nothing. I agree with Victor. These are adult women who should be handling their own shit, Grams.
She's like, oh my god, Mom, this is why we're low contact.
Yeah. And Grams is like, fine, I get it. I'm not needed here. I won't go where my advice isn't, where people won't respect my opinions. It's all very woman who's estranged from her adult children who has a TikTok where she complains about how ungrateful adult children are.
Yup.
I've been watching some YouTube videos about some people, and whoo, that is a rabbit hole to fall down.
Yeah, it is.
And I actually really like this moment between...
Yeah, Victor and Patty have a nice moment where they're like, you know, I know we're their parents, but we actually never dealt with the teenage phase, so...
Yeah, and if we had the chance to raise the girls together, I think we would have done a really good job.
Yeah. So she goes downstairs, and the girls all swarm her, and they're like, Mom, it's our mom! We love you, Mom!
Mommy! And they're, like, Phoebe's literally hugging her legs. And Victor's like, the thing is, Grams took her book of spells, so we won't know how to reverse it. And Patty says something very casually, which is super horrifying, where she's like, oh, don't worry, I came up with my own way to reverse the spells Grams put on me as a child.
When I was 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has a spell that reverses all of the spells that come out of the Black Book. And, man, that's dark. That at 9 she had to know how to counter the spells her mother was using to imprison her. Some real Rapunzel shit going on here. So, anyway, now they have their personalities back. The boys have their sibling rivalry back. And we know that they still have their memories, and Paige is horrified that
She's like, oh my god, I tongued a student.
And Patty's like, okay, we need to go deal with Leo, but let's circle back to that.
Yeah. And Piper's like, I'm gonna fucking murder everyone. And Patty's like, that's my girl. And it's like, no, that's Grams' girl. That is a Grams thing.
So upstairs, they're hiding. They're basically using Wyatt as bait so that they can lure out the demon. And Piper's got the vanquishing potion. She keeps asking Paige, do you think this will work? And I just want to point out, Paige is like, I don't know. I hope so. But she doesn't know. Anyway, the demon who looks like Leo or shimmers in. The potion does not work. And Piper's like, Paige, you swore this would work. Girl, we were all there. She did not do that.
Yeah, Paige is like, it should have worked. And Piper tries to blow him up and nothing happens. And evil Leo just grabs Wyatt and blorps away with him.
I feel like the camera is making a really big deal about the fact that Wyatt didn't put up a shield there, a ward against Demon Leo, who isn't really a demon, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, so Victor and Patty come into the room, and Patty's like, this whole situation feels kind of familiar to me, and I think that maybe Wyatt is subconsciously doing something because he has weird issues with his dad.
Yeah, she talks about how when things got weird, you know, when things got difficult or rough, Piper had night terrors. And what's probably happening is that now that Wyatt is dealing with a broken home, he's having night terrors too. But since he's a fucking godchild, his night terrors are making themselves, you know, physically manifest in the form of evil Leo.
They're talking about when they were going through their separation, Piper started having these night terrors. And Paige is like, so you're saying that Piper was the cause of your divorce? And Piper...
What?
Yeah, Piper shoots her a stink eye. And Victor's like, no, it was other things. Specifically, you know, Patty slamming your dad. But he doesn't say that. He says, no, it was other things. But, like, no, they broke up because Patty was having sex with your dad, Paige.
Paige is like, are you saying that Piper's the reason you broke up? And they're like, no, Paige, you are the reason we broke up.
You are the physical manifestation of the reason we broke up.
Okay, so when they clarify that, no, this is Wyatt's night terror, and they're like, why is it Leo, though? And why is Leo trying to hurt Wyatt? And Patty's explanation is that Wyatt knows that the thing that's making Leo go all, you know, death wish on everybody is the fact that Gideon tried to hurt Wyatt, so Wyatt knows that their separation is his fault, and so that's why he wants to hurt himself. And I'm like, that is some high-level processing to assume a 2-year-old, no matter how godlike, is doing.
Yes. Wyatt knows that Leo is going down the darker path because Gideon tried to kill Wyatt, so Wyatt is blaming himself for that, which... Okay, whatever. So, so Wyatt and evil Leo are at the place where regular Leo killed Gideon.
I mean, doesn't this to you just imply that the night terror is because he watched his dad kill someone?
Yeah. So, evil Leo abandons Wyatt in a den of ghouls or whatever, and the ghouls start coming after Wyatt, and regular Leo and Piper show up and murder the shit out of all of them.
Yep. And I do have to say, evil Leo, before all of this happened, said, one way or another, this is going to get your parents together. And he was not wrong.
Yeah, that is true.
Because Leo shows up and is like, hey, I know you blame yourself and you absolutely shouldn't. And I'm sorry I've been such a dick. All I care about is you and your mom and your little brother. So let's all go home.
Dad is actually going to stick around for once. Piper says this. Piper's like, Daddy's not going anywhere. And Wyatt looks over to evil Leo, and evil Leo blorbs out of existence. And, yeah. I actually really like this scene. Like,
yeah, this scene was my telekinesis.
Like, the rest of the episode was some hot garbage, but this scene is good.
Yeah, and, Leo scoops up his son, and he and Piper have a moment where they're like, they both just want... Honestly, I was complaining about the way Piper was acting like she could just abandon magic. But it is nice that here they both realize that they're just doing whatever they can to keep Wyatt safe, and neither of them can the way they have been. So, yeah.
Yeah, and Leo's like, I don't know how to find my way back to the light. And Piper's like, just be a dad. Just the best way to protect your kids is to be there for them.
Yep.
So, which, yeah, that is right, Piper.
Okay.
The demons will come to you, Leo.
Right?
You can just kill them in the house like everyone else does.
Be a work-from-home demon hunter.
So, Nick Lachey is doing, what was that sexy duck face while he's typing into the computer?
Yeah, he is. He's doing the Zoolander Blue Steel.
Yes.
Speaking of Zoolander.
So, Phoebe has come into the office to, I guess, apologize and thank him for the thing. Like, Phoebe, why don't you just leave him alone to do his fucking job?
She's like, sorry about the way I acted. I just had so many martinis. And he's like, from what I saw, you had half a glass of wine. So...
He's like, but I came ahead in the deal because you kissed me. And I was like... And I'm like, yeah, like a weird baby kiss. Also, she made out with you when you got hired.
This is what I'm saying. Why does he like her? She is unhinged from his point of view.
I mean, maybe that's what she maybe that's what he likes about her.
I judge. I'm judging. This is my judging face, listeners.
Also, she's been calling him constantly.
Yeah, she was calling him and hanging up like a child.
And she's like, my redial button was broken. And he's like, yeah, that's plausible. That's a plausible thing. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I would throw the towel in on this, Phoebe. If I were you, I would just not contact this man anymore until you feel like your sabbatical is done. Because what kind of relationship do you think that you're going to have? I mean,
him finding her sexy is honestly a red flag.
Yes. Because she walks out of the office and he's like, turn around, because if you turn around, you like me. And she nearly walks out of the office, but then she turns around and he's like, that a girl. Which,
ew.
Oh, barf. Boo. Boo to this man.
Alright, let's do Awakening.
Yes. Patty is touching the Book of Shadows, something she has to have such a complicated relationship with.
Right?
Patty's such an interesting character for someone we don't see very much of. And I like this little resolution between Patty and Victor, because he's like, are you okay? And she's like, leaving's the hardest part, because no matter how much I can physically manifest in the real world, I'm still dead, and I always have to go back to that. Like, I can't be there. And he's like, I couldn't be there either. And it's a really good moment between these two characters about how much they missed out on.
Yeah. Ugh.
So,
It's got to be hard that Victor gets to be there now and she's, dead.
yeah, especially because he gets to spend all that time with the grandkids when the plot gets bored with them and they just...
Yeah, exactly. Where are they? They're with Victor. Don't worry about it.
So, Graham splurps back into the room, and she's like, my way would have worked too, but since, no one died, I guess you're forgiven.
And then she's like, Leo, I'm sorry that I was completely justified in thinking you were evil, but I guess you weren't this week. And Leo's like, that's an apology? And they're all like, listen, she's our missing stair, just take it and move on.
Yeah. So now that everyone is forgiven for disrespecting Grams, I guess, she calls forth their ancestors to bless Chris. Although, again, Prue is not showing up for this shit.
You know why Prue's not there?
Yes.
Prue is there.
Also, it feels like I feel like they had a lot more ghosts for Wyatt when they had Wyatt's Awakening.
They absolutely did. But, Second Son. Classic Second Son stuff here with Chris.
Okay. I had a lot of fun talking about this, but oof, this episode is rough. It had a few really good character moments, but it was just buried in so much baby talk.
What's interesting is that the baby talk is horrifying, and it probably doesn't take up more than 10 minutes of the episode, but it's still terrible.
And kind of unnecessary.
It doesn't make any sense!
It really doesn't. There was so much good stuff in retrospect. There's a lot of good stuff in this episode. It's just how we got there is...
You know what? I think I'm gonna say it. I think that makes it worse because it was unnecessary. The episode could have worked without them reverting to children, and we could have gotten good character stuff with Victor and Patty, and Leo and Piper, and Leo and Kira.
Yeah.
Instead, we got this. Let's do our segments.
Yes, much like the Charmed ones, we have our own power of 3. The first power in our pack is Premonition, who in this episode is, was, or will become famous. Okay, we already talked about it a lot. It's Charisma Carpenter.
Yes, the amazing Charisma Carpenter. Best known as Cordelia on Buffy, also had a good run on
Veronica Mars.
Veronica Mars.
Yeah, as what's his face's stepmom.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Dick Casablancas is the character whose stepmom she is. So yeah, that's our premonition.
Yes. Also, she had premonitions in Angel, so
Whoa. Whoa. And she's a seer in this show.
Yeah.
Whoa.
They really did not write out of the... And much like Cordelia in that last bit in Angel, she's wearing a pretty awful outfit.
I don't mind this outfit.
I mean, she's pulling it off.
Yeah.
The second power in our pack is Time Freeze. What specifically dated this episode?
Did you have one?
I didn't have
okay,
one.
I do. It's when Phoebe is doing the repeated calls to Leslie, right?
The tiny phone.
No, not the tiny... Well, I mean, that could be one, but I feel like we don't hit on that kind of tech stuff.
Yeah.
No, I mean the fact that she's calling him and hanging up over and over again. That's not a thing you do now. And, now you would just stalk his social media.
Yeah. Yeah. The last power in our pack is telekinesis. What, if anything, genuinely moved you? It's weird to actually have these, right?
I know. I feel like I haven't been moved in so long, but I said it when it happened. It's the scene when Leo and Piper go save Wyatt, yeah.
It's also weird for us to have different ones, because mine is the one where Victor and Patty are talking about how they feel like they would have done a good job if they had the chance to raise their children together.
And to be clear, I think we were both moved by both scenes.
Yeah.
But yeah. One was just a hair stronger for me and vice versa for you.
Also, we have a couple of our secret powers.
Oh my god!
Which we have talked about, over the course of this, but the first one is astral projection. What made you cringe so hard you physically wanted to leave your body?
The entire second act of this episode.
Yeah, all the baby talk.
It's terrible.
So bad.
I like to think that when they wrote that, they were just making fun of Alyssa Milano doing baby talk all the time as Phoebe.
Definitely possible. Because I really feel like someone told her to dial it back, because it does feel like it's been a bit since we got Baby Talk, but woof, did it come back with a vengeance here.
Well, we mentioned it when she started the show, but in Rose McGowan's memoir, she complains about it.
Yeah. And we have another one of her secret powers, molecular combustion, what blew apart continuity.
And again, we talked about that, but the whole idea of what their childhood was keeps changing.
Yeah, because now we're officially in the girls were raised with magic, which does kind of recontextualize Piper's whole I want a magic-free life thing, right?
It does. Also, it negates, as you said, the premise of the show.
Yes. Oof.
Well, next time is the pirate-themed episode.
Charmed.
I'm not even going to read the description. It's just charmed.
Charmed. That whole episode is a time freeze because of what they're blatantly ripping off. Also,
it's true.
Exciting. We're getting the first gay character, the first canonically in-show stated gay character. Guess how long it takes for her to die.
Oof.
Yeah. Another time. Is that a time freeze? They're still doing it, right? Barrier gaze is still a.
Yeah, it's unfortunately not a time freeze.
Ugh. So yeah, I think that'll about do
On
it.
that note.
on that huge downer.
Our show's partially listener supported. If you want to be one of those supporters, head over to our website, www.welcometotelevision.net, and click on our Patreon link. We'd like to thank our current $5 and above patrons: Beryl, Patricia, Rosa, Ryan, Maricruz, Benjamin, Kate, Jen, Dan, Anthony, Daniel, and Hippolyta.
If you'd like to support the show in other ways, you could always rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. It helps other people find the show.
If you want to talk about this episode or any episode of any television show, you can email us at ilovetelevisionzs@gmail.com, or you can find us on Blue Sky at Welcome to TV.
So until next time, I'm Max.
And I'm Tina.
And this has been Welcome to Halliwell Manor.